and to have the best of your children be lost in life, and you have no idea when that dark tunnel will yield that light. He wasn't lost from Yaqub for a day or two or a month. Can you imagine the impact of his heart with this trauma? And how did that trauma affect him? It was not easy. His heart ached. And then suddenly, decades later, his wicked children, his corrupt children, talk about difficult trials. His own children are abusive. They're the ones who hurt him. Oftentimes we become upset and discontent that it's our families that are hurting us. Well, his trial in his dark tunnel was within his home. His children attempted to murder his most beloved child, and they were lying to him, and the father knew. They were abusing the father, and the father knew. How did he respond to all of this? Allah Azza wa Jal sheds some light on all of this for you and me to understand what it takes to get through difficulties and hardships. Closer? Okay, closer. Down? Okay, alhamdulillah. So here they are about to report to their father that their second brother, Binyamin, is lost because they couldn't bring him back from Egypt. You know the details of the story. How does the father take this? I lost my first child who was so beloved to me, and I've just lost my second child because of you, and he knew it, and they're lying to him. What does he respond to them with? He has an option, either to become so angry and enraged and yell at them or strike them, or to choose something different in this difficult trial. Here is what he tells them. He says this to his children. He says, I know that you're enticed to do something wicked, bad. It's you. You've done something. But he didn't say anything further. He didn't say foul language to them. He didn't use, harsh words with them. He didn't say, oh my God, I'm going to lose it on you. It's you. He says, I know you enticed yourself to do something foul. But my response to this hard trial, this trauma on my heart is sabrun jameel. We've heard it, haven't we? Beautiful. Excuse me, I'm checking the time because I don't have my watch. So I'm using my phone for this purpose. So he said, فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ, the best thing that I can react with in this hard moments, in this dark tunnel, is beautiful patience. Haven't you heard this? What does that mean to you and me? What did it mean to Yaqub alayhi salam? Because it was an overwhelming moment. I just lost my second child. It's traumatic. I don't know where he is. Because of these people in front of me, my own children who hurt me. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ عَسَى اللَّهُ أَنْ يَأْتِيَنِي بِهِمْ جَمِيعًا. Sabrun jameel, beautiful patience. I hope that Allah will gather me with them again. That's all he said. And he held on to his pain. What is sabr jameel? It's the most beautiful form of patience. You can react with patience in difficulty, but it's bitter patience. It's a type of patience where you're still upset with Allah, where you're not happy with his decree, where you're saying, why did this happen to me? Why do I have bad children? I'm a prophet of Allah. You might hold the negative opinion of Allah while being patient, while still saying, I'm going to endure. That's not good patience. That's not beautiful patience. Bitter patience is a patience where you're discontent, where you're not smiling, your heart is not smiling. It's actually upset with Allah, upset with the circumstances, where you think, I'm not deserving of this. Where you might also lash out at people, where you might meet ugliness with ugliness. You see, his children were behaving with ugliness. But the father said, Sabrun jameel, in my heart, I'm not going to change my opinion of Allah. I'm not going to let your harshness and cruelty change what I think of Allah. I'll still see Allah as beautiful. I'll still see this circumstance in the way that Allah sees it, which is beautiful. You see, my misfortune is decreed by Allah, so it must be beautiful. It must be beautiful. The best gift that I can summon in this moment is the gift of patience that pleases Allah. That's what Allah demands of me. That's in my heart. But when I deal with you, beautiful patience means I still have to deal with you mercifully. I still have to be kind to you, despite your cruelty. That is beautiful patience. Beautiful patience shows up not only in the heart, but in the manner in which we handle others when they're cruel with us. That is beautiful patience. He said that. Do you think he didn't have pain? Oh, of course he did. Allah says further, next verse, وَتَوَلَّ عَنْهُمْ. He turned away from his abusive children. وَقَالَ يَا أَسَفَا عَلَى يُوسُف. He said verbally, how extreme, how overwhelming my sorrow over Yusuf. وَبْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْحُزْنِ فَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. Allah says, describing his condition, his pain. You might think he didn't have pain, right? No, he had pain. You might think beautiful patience means no pain in your heart, no tears. No, he had tears for decades. He says, قَالَ يَا أَسَفَ عَلَى يُوسُف. How deep my sorrow is over Yusuf, saying it with his tongue. وَبْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْحُزْنِ فَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. And then from the tears in his eyes and from his grief in his heart, his eyes turned blind. Allah describes here the trauma, the physical side effects of trauma. Most of us are not understanding of this, the pain that others around us go through. Trauma affects people, including prophets. This prophet was so affected by trauma and tragedy in his life, he lost his eyesight. Would you have thought that a prophet of Allah goes through such grief? How many of us think that grief and experiencing tears of pain is opposite of faith? That faithful people, strong people don't cry, don't grieve. Well, here's Allah telling us Yusuf, his father Yaqub went through this and he was traumatized. But what Allah is saying is that beautiful patience, trust in Allah, seeing Allah's hand in your affairs, in your trial, does not mean no tears. Because the heart of Yaqub was in tears, was in pain, was grieving, was in sorrow for decades, even though he still trusted Allah. Both conditions coexist in the heart. That's something that is difficult for many of us to understand. That someone crying, someone complaining of their pain doesn't mean they're not trusting Allah. And there are cases of people crying and they are not happy with Allah. It's in the heart. And here is Yaqub saying, Ya Asafa. He's verbalizing his sorrow. We need outlets for our sorrow. That's why it was difficult to be from each other. Because we have pain and we're not sure who to share the pain with. Yaqub saying, I needed someone to share my pain. My children are not even listening to me. They caused me the pain. And on top of this, they're not even listening. So he turned away from them. And his eyes turned wide from blindness. Then Allah does not stop. His children return back to their father and they're not happy. They're abusive. They're hurtful. They go to their father. Oh, what's wrong with you, Dad? Why are you still crying? You're going to continue to cry and cry and cry until you experience extreme illness that would kill you. They're actually trying to teach their father a lesson. Isn't that ironic? The ones who created the trauma are teaching the father to be patient and they're teaching him to stop his cries. They're saying, get over it, old man. I ask you again, what does he respond with? What does he respond with to this abuse, to this ugliness? Patience that is not beautiful means I'm going to return back the favor. You're going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back. You're going to say a cruel word to me, my child, I'm going to say a cruel word to you back. That's not sabr jameel. Yaqub had to muster that beautiful patience again because it pleases Allah. He had to draw out of his pained heart, aching heart, something beautiful to meet the children with, to counter these abusive children with, because that's what Allah demands. Beautiful patience will take you to the end of the tunnel. He understood, if I have beautiful patience right now, it's the best gift. It's what's going to get me through this trial with my own children. It's what's going to gather me with my lost children. It's what pleases Allah. I trust that beautiful patience is the best gift. It's going to strengthen my relationship with Allah. That's my test right now, despite all the difficulties. So he says to them, قال إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله وأعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون. He says in response, you know what? You're still abusive. He didn't say that. He knows it in their heart. That despite your abuse, he says to them, I'm going to turn my pain, share my pain, my tears, only with Allah. I'm going to share my grief, not with you, with Allah, because you're not understanding me. وَأَعْلَمُ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. And I know from Allah that which you do not know. What is he talking about? Bath in Arabic means the verbalization and the expression of grief. Some people confuse or misunderstand this verse. Does it say don't complain to people? No, it doesn't. Actually, Yaqub attempted to share his pain with his children, but they were cruel with him and they didn't listen and they didn't empathize. They had such hearts, harsh hearts, that they couldn't understand their dad's pain, even though they inflicted it. So while he's complaining to them, they're showing harshness. So he says, you know what? I'm not going to talk to people that are not listening. I'm going to take my pain to Allah, and Allah knows me. Allah knows my pain. Allah knows my grief. Allah knows my tears. I'm not alone. So when people around me are not getting me, and there are many people in our lives that are not going to get you, and they're going to be harsh with you, and they're going to neglect your pain, he says in response, I'm going to choose something beautiful. I'm going to go to Allah. He knows what I do not know. And he's beautiful in ways that are beyond the imagination. And he's so caring and merciful. What I need is beautiful patience and to share my grief with Allah. That's his response, brothers and sisters. Then he says to his children, ironically, my children, go and look for Yusuf and his brother. Don't give up hope in Allah. That is so profound. The one who is in pain, who is abused by his children, is giving hope to the abuser. How can that be? Shouldn't he's blind now from his pain. You would have thought he's given up. No. He's actually so full of hope that he gives this hope to his children. And he says, never, ever give up hope in Allah. For the ones who give up hope in Allah are those who are ungrateful, who disbelieve in Allah. Wow. To give up hope in Allah in a difficult moment means I'm far from Allah. And he's giving this hope to his children. That is Yaqub. That speaks to me, brothers and sisters, in these moments. What we need is this beautiful patience. Allah's looking at your heart and my heart. We have a choice. Trials can wreck the heart, can make people lose their faith, can bring the worst out of them, can make them bitter. Allah says, beautiful patience in your heart. Trust me, surrender to me. I'll take you to the end. I'll get you through this. But now with your limbs, you gotta also be beautiful in dealing with difficult people, with your families. Give them hope. Be beautiful with them. Inspire them. When there's beautiful patience in the heart, it's gonna show up on the lips. We ask Allah to grant this beautiful patience. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. How beautiful it is, Sabr Jamil. The greatest gift is not actually to even get us together. You think this is the truth, or to get a relief out of a trial and make it, or succeed, or get this wish fulfilled. That's not what it's about. It's for Sabr Jamil. For you to experience something heavenly in your heart. Allah puts us through trials to bring the best out of us. And it could also bring the worst. The greatest gift that Allah can give a human being in a moment of trial is Sabr Jameel, beautiful patience. This beautiful patience not only will get us through trials, but will strengthen our relationship with Allah. It'll teach you something about Allah, how present Allah is. If you speak to Him, if you open your heart and not be bitter with Allah, trust His hand. Yeah, it's dark, but Allah's in control. It's dark, but Allah knows what He's doing. My children are difficult, it's from Allah. Decree of Allah, it's going to bring the best out of me and out of them. I need to trust Allah. That no good is lost with Allah. Continue to plant the seeds because of your beautiful patience. Wallahi, Allah will bring out the trees. We'll gather you. We'll make you see your wishes fulfilled, but it could be a long journey. If He doesn't give it to you here, He'll give it to you for sure in the next world. Beautiful patience takes you to beautiful places with Allah. That's what's amazing. We don't understand this. We think patience is something bitter. I gotta deal with it. I gotta have it, but yeah, it'll get me through. No. Sabr Jameel takes you to astonishing places with Allah in your world, with your family, and in the next world. That's why Allah says the ones who are granted beautiful patience are ذو حظ عظيم. They're the ones who have the greatest fortune. How do I have it? I'm struggling. Ask Allah for it. It's your test right now, right? It's not over. The journey of life is not over. The toll is not over. You have many opportunities to ask Allah to plant beautiful patience in you, but it is the defining one. Wallahi, brothers. Not easy, but Allah will grant it to those who want it. So Allah teaches us in the Quran, He says, raise your hands and ask for beautiful patience. رَبَّنَا أَفْرِغْ عَلَيْنَا صَبْرًا. Ya Allah, pour on us patience. That's what Allah teaches us in the Quran. Pour it on us because we're struggling. We're in pain. Our hearts are aching. We're in dark tunnels. Ya Allah, pour patience. Pour, this sense of surrender in our hearts, Ya Allah. When you ask Allah, Allah's there. So what we need in these times, beautiful patience, and it will take you to hard places. We need to raise our hands with trust in Allah Azza wa Jalla. We need to handle people with care, brothers and sisters, with mercy. That is beautiful patience. That's the lesson of Yaqub alayhi salam. And we are so much in need of it. Let us raise our hands and ask Allah. Ya Allah, you are the most gracious, you are the most merciful. You're the one who sustains us, Ya Allah. You're the one who sends the misfortunes, and within the misfortunes are opportunities to get closer to Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you're the one who is the creator of the darkness and the light, Ya Allah. You put us through hardships, Ya Allah, but all these hardships are ladders that take us closer to Ya Allah, that allow us to bring the best out of ourselves and to experience beautiful patience. Pour on us beautiful patience, Ya Allah. Pour on us beautiful patience, Ya Allah. Make us among those who are chosen, who make it through the trials with stronger bonds with you, Ya Allah. Make us vessels of light that impact everyone around us, that when people look at us, they'll get closer to you. They'll see you, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, enlighten our hearts, enlighten our chests, Ya Allah. Make things easy on us. Gather our families together. Gather this community together. Bless ICCP, Ya Allah. Bless all the members of ICCP, all the families of ICCP, Ya Allah. Relieve those who are afflicted across this earth, Ya Allah. The poor, the afflicted, Ya Allah. Those who are desperate, Ya Allah. The refugees, Ya Allah. Those who are broken that no one knows about. But you know about them, Ya Allah. Lift them, Ya Allah. Lift them up. Heal their broken hearts, Ya Allah. Heal their children. Heal their parents, Ya Allah. Take them from darkness into light. And take all of us from darkness into light. That when we meet you, Ya Allah, we're happy. Ya Allah, be happy with us. Be happy with us, Ya Allah. And send your peace and prayers upon Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma ighfir lana warhamna واعف عنا وتولى امرنا واحسن خلاصنا ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وادخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين صل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين. لا إله إلا الله